Duke by 10. They lost to Kansas by 5. They lost to Notre Dame in overtime by 1. The only bad loss where it starts to get pretty bad is Texas Southern, where they lost in overtime 71-64. And that's when you thought, you know what? I'm not sure this Michigan State team is good enough to make the tournament. They lost to Maryland double overtime by 2. They lost to Maryland again at College Park. Then another bad loss. They lost to Nebraska at Nebraska. They lost to Illinois at home. They lost to Minnesota at home in overtime. Then they lost to a Wisconsin team. Ooh, they played pretty well. And then they did not lose again after that until they lost to Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament final. Which, again, they competed pretty well. And if it wasn't for a couple of missed calls here and there, Michigan State could have won the tournament, in my opinion. So they're one of those teams that, again, when you go against Tom Izzo, he's gonna bite you in the butt. And so I have Michigan State beating Georgia, and just to move on a little further in my bracket, I have Michigan State beating Virginia, beating Providence, who I have going pretty far, and then against Villanova in my Elite Eight. So, of course, intern Jake disagrees with me, but that's okay. He has Georgia beating Michigan State. And finally, Virginia, a number 2 seed, who has played one of the toughest defenses all season. They're one of the toughest defensive teams if you look at their body of work. They were ranked in the top 5 for most of the season until one of their key players was out for a month and a half. One of my major concerns picking Virginia to get pretty far, and why I don't have them getting far, is having that player back in the rotation. When you lose a player like him for most of this, for a month and a half essentially, it's a little bit tough for me to pick with a guy like that. Normal and NCAA tournament is when you have to have all your players healthy, or at least a game or two, to see if they're going to be okay. But the fact that his offense has not been as great, and this guy is again a shooter who's 47% from 3-point range. So to be honest, I'd like to pick them. I really would. It's just one of those things where I just can't. I do have them beating Belmont, though. Belmont out of the Ohio Valley Conference. I don't see them really with the problem. By the way, it's the name Justin Anderson. That's why I couldn't remember. Justin Anderson, who averaged 12.3 points a game before getting injured, had a fractured finger and appendectomy. So those are two things that may be a little bit tough to come back from, honestly. So for me, I just can see them beating Belmont. That's no problem. I just don't see them beating Michigan State. And again, this Virginia, I think they have the potential to go to a couple rounds strictly because they're a team that are the best scoring defense, and defense does win championships, as we all know, averaging about under 51 points a game defensively in terms of scoring defense. So they're going to shut down Belmont, no problem, against Michigan State, who has a bunch of shooters. I don't think that's going to be that's not going to be the same case. So going in my round of 32, I have Villanova beating NC State, Northern Iowa over UC Irvine, Providence over Oklahoma, and then Michigan State over Virginia. And in the Sweet 16, I do have Villanova and University of Northern Iowa, the 1-5 matchup. I do have Villanova getting there, and then along with, again, as mentioned previously, Michigan State over Providence. Looking over at intern Jake's bracket, Villanova and LSU. Villanova, no problem. UC Irvine, as mentioned, they're going to the Final Four, beating Northern Iowa. Providence and Oklahoma, he has Oklahoma. And the Virginia-Georgia game that he has Virginia. So going into the Sweet 16, Villanova, UC Irvine. Again, UC Irvine again. And they're playing Virginia. And, of course, again, UC Irvine is intern Jake's Final Four pick. So clearly, we've all seen it before. Double-digit seeds always have the potential to get to the Final Four. Don't be surprised if UC Irvine is one of those teams. Jake, you're bold. Intern Jake, you're very bold for picking UC Irvine. So I think they have a pretty good shot. I really do. Yeah, so we're going to take a short break. But when we come back, we're going to take on arguably the toughest region out of all the regions, the West region. Wisconsin's the number 1 seed. But we also have a team that honestly could have been a number 1 seed. And we also have some teams in there that could spring some upsets. We'll talk about that more after the break. So here is Can't Stop, Won't Stop with Place to Be on the Spicy Sports Show with Sam Stern on Spreaker Radio.
formal invitation to lose it. Yeah, you kid, being a cool kid, back at the arena watching my crew spit while you say to your girl, yo, this music is stupid. You know I've heard it all before, and I'm still bringing the records to shake the dance floor. If you're joining up now, then you better stay tuned, cause I'm coming to your town with some wham bam, thank you. Swinging on the track cause I'm so up-tempo. I know the people love it cause I see them going next. So commander of the crowd, better call me the general and fix up soldier, get looking presentable and rep your city or wherever you claim. When you're rocking with your boy, you know it's all the same, cause the folks been parting. I'm bringing the ballyhoo, alley-oop on the cut, you know how we do. And you better believe we in the place to be, baby, you and me. And it ain't no lie, we in the place to be, girl, you and I. So make moves if you're coming along, cause the place to be is where they playing this song. Now you already know I'm the top of the pile, got the pedal to the metal, run a 1 minute mile. You can see that my style is dialed in, and now I got more green than Ireland. It's the big leagues, baby, what you know about me? You can tell by the sound that I'm frequently clowning, and they suckers out like pins in an alley. When I rally the fan from the valley to Cali, then I ramble on like Robert Plant say, use a Padawan, I'm a sensei, half architect, half lucky devil. No matter what the metric, you ain't ever on my level. So let's take a dip into the lyrical deep end, sleeping on the kid, taking Tylenol PM. Crew so fly that your crew wanna be them. Play your cards right, we can hang this weekend. And you better believe we in the place to be, baby, you and me. And it ain't no lie, we in the place to be, girl, you and I. So make moves if you're coming along, because the place to be is where they playing this song. From time to time I see frowns in the crowd, and I wanna turn them upside down. So if you're coming around my way, then you might as well stick around, cause me, I'm sitting pretty in the middle of the city like a king without a crown. And you can knock it if you want, but I don't see why. Man, you must be crazy, I love this town.
Can someone tell me the place to be? The place to be. Can someone tell me the place to be? The place to be.
And you better believe we in the place to be, baby, you and me. And it ain't no lie, we in the place to be, girl, you and I. So make moves if you're coming along, because the place to be is where they playing this song. We in the place to be, baby, you and me. And it ain't no lie, we in the place to be, girl, you and I. So make moves if you're coming along, cause the place to be is where they
And welcome back to the Spicy Sports Show with Sam Stern, coming to you live from Portland, Oregon. It's 5:18 local time, 8:18 on the East Coast. Hey, what's up, East Coast? Looking back on some NCAA tournament action right now, Hampton and Manhattan still taking place. 11:35 left in the game. Hampton on top of Manhattan, 51-45. This is the first four, and the winner of this game will take on the odds-on favorite to win the national championship, the Kentucky Wildcats, in the first round. So again, thank you so much for listening. It's St. Patrick's Day, so hopefully you guys are all wearing green. If not, I hope you're getting pinched. Just kidding. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to talk about the West region. The number one overall team is Wisconsin. Wisconsin both winning the Big Ten regular season and tournament titles. They have arguably the player of the year in Frank Kaminsky, who's been playing pretty well, and in my opinion, as dominant of a 7-footer as you've seen in college basketball since Christian Laettner. So I think he's going to be pretty good there. I do think he's going to win player of the year over Jahlil Okafor, just because Duke did not win either the ACC regular season or tournament titles. Frank Kaminsky did. That's going to be the difference. And statistically, Kaminsky's played pretty well overall for the season. I think he's more of an efficient player when you go onto the advanced metrics. Has played a bigger role than Okafor. So, without further ado, let's talk about the East region. So let's take a look at it. Again, Wisconsin is the number one overall seed. The team that I feel, and again, if you listened to my show last week, Arizona, the number 2 seed, could have been a number 1 seed. They did win both the Pac-12 conference and regular season titles. They should have been a seed, number 1 seed. I think Duke should not have been a number 1 seed, in my opinion. But that's going to be interesting. An interesting final when Duke and Gonzaga play, because that's what I do have. Just a little preview there. But anyway, Wisconsin, I do have them beating Coastal Carolina. Again, Coastal Carolina, great school, a great party school if you really want to go there. But Wisconsin, I have them beating Coastal Carolina no problem, as does intern Jake. For Oregon, for us people in Oregon against Oklahoma State, the 8-9 matchup. Again, it is a toss-up most times, but I am going with the Oregon Ducks, who have come on really hot late. Going into this tournament. Overall, Oregon 25-9 on the season, 13-5 in conference play early on in the season.